In the old days, families would live together, would look after each other. But now, there was only Mariam. Now she walked, slowly in the heat, cars zooming past her in all directions. Latest model Bose, a Faraday roadster, a gauze 2 black cab. No one ever named cars after poets, she thought. Her own taste in poetry ran to the neoclassical. Ong Yi Sheng, Lior Droche. They weren't the most famous, they just were. The cars swarmed around her, ferrying people every which way. They resembled the movement of fish flocks, the way they flowed independently, yet in unison. It was illegal to drive a car in El Amtidad. They were all run by an inference engine. It was usually the way of things, Mariam had found. People didn't trust other people for things like driving them, or for making investment decisions, or for medical care. Unless, of course, it was a matter of status. Al-Mansoura Avenue, on the outskirts of Midtown, was a pleasant road with many equally spaced palm trees providing shade along the pavements on either side. The buildings were only a few stories tall, shops on the ground floor and nice, spacious apartments above. Dog walkers walked other people's dogs and nannies pushed other people's babies along the pavements. Cafes were open, blasting out cool air, and the patrons who sat sipping cappuccinos were busy interacting with each other in a meaningful manner, signaling to any passerby that they were not merely relaxing, but engaging in important face-to-face connectivity. The shuttle plane to Central Station flew low overhead. Mariam passed the cafes, the shops selling cultivated pearls and imported perfumes, anti-drone privacy kits, an artisanal bakery wafting out the smell of fresh sourdough loaves and sticky baklawe. A florist stall sold bouquets of fat red roses. The people who lived on Al-Mansoura were the upwardly mobile, and they lived on hope. Hope was a powerful drug. Another shop, this one renting out luxury watches. She never understood that desire to wear these overpriced tiny mechanical machines that measured time. Her own watch was a plastic knockoff from the roadside markets in Nineveh, mass-produced in Yiwu, shipped across the world on the Silk Road that China built. The sort of junk her father would have ferried in his truck. But people wore watches to tell the world they were rich, successful, that they were going places, that they took time seriously. Mariam did too. She was paid by the hour. Now she made her way to the address and punched in the code and rode up in the elevator to the Smirnov Lee apartment. It was a nice, spacious apartment, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city and the sea far in the distance. The sort of place that was always rented because it was too expensive to own. Hardly anyone owned their own place on El Imtidad. Everything in Neom was rented. Living spaces, luxury watches, people. Smirnov and Lee weren't in. Mariam filled a bucket with warm, soapy water in their gleaming bathroom. They were a nice, handsome couple, men in their early 30s, their wedding photos hanging in the living room from some beachside ceremony in Fiji or Bali. Anyway, one of those places people always went to get married in. While Neom's land belonged still to the Saudis, the Committee for the Promotion of Virtue and the Prevention of Vice, the Mutaween, had no power beyond the border, and Mutaween agents had no power of enforcement within the sprawl. Neom's freedom had been part and parcel of the pitch package long before it ever had stocks for sale, when it was still just a corporate promo on a video-sharing site, some wealthy prince's unlikely, faintly ridiculous dream. As Mariam cleaned the windows, she stared out at the city. She liked having the apartment to herself, imagined herself living there in all that minimalist simplicity. Sometimes Smirnov or Lee would be there, but mostly they left her alone to do her job. It was a Neom thing. She knew from the last time she'd seen them.